Hello guys and gals, Spacelord here, and welcome back to my Emblem Conquest rant. And this time we are going to get into the meat of the Conquest, which is the gameplay, and which is hands down the best thing about it, honestly. I mean, ask anyone. I think everyone will say the gameplay is, yes. So, where do I even begin? Actually, that's a good place to start, isn't it? Because the gameplay of Conquest adds so much depth to it, because there's so many skills now compared to, like, if you thought like Awakening had a lot of skills, Fates has even more skills, because every character now has one personal skill, and their class will learn I think 3 or 4 skills. I think that is because the first tier class will learn one skill at level 10, and the second tier class will learn a skill level 5 and a skill level 15. So that will mean that you have one personal skill and 3 extra skills, at the very least. Yeah, I think that's it. I think some classes also start with the skill, but I'm not exactly sure on that. But so yeah, you can, like, just from there's a lot of skills to go from, and that's also the biggest difference between Conquest and the other two games, because in Conquest they introduce skills very early as the very first chapter of Conquest, chapter 7. Already there they show, like, they're already introducing skills, and in chapter 7 they will teach you how important skill awareness is. Because if you, like, send in one unit paired up with another unit and, like, think you can survive, you will not survive. Like, that's like a very Awakening-esque thing to do. Like, you can just pair up, like, take your tankiest unit and pair up with another tanky unit to make him or her have like 40 or 50 defense or something. Send them in, and they're probably done by a couple of enemy phases. But in Conquest you can't do that. But I think, like, chapter 7 does a very good job of like showing just how difficult Fate's, like, not Fate but Conquest is. Like, it sets the bar just right. Because in the very beginning of chapter 7, like, there's like not much happening. Like, the faceless will come at you one at a time, and if you use your skills right, you should put Corin in the range of one of them, and then Jacob or Felicia, depending on what gender your Corin is, to have, like, because this is a mouthful. Okay, so I believe that both Felicia and Jacob have a personal skill that only affects Corin, and they will reduce the damage he takes or she takes by 3 if you stand, like, in one space next to them. So that really helps. And then, like, you can just, yeah, put them there together beside each other and take on the first faceless. And after the battle of the first faceless, you will realize this faceless has a skill that reduces your HP by 20%, I think, or it takes down 20% of your HP, either 10 or 20. I'll correct myself in post-production. And then you realize that, oh shit, I can't actually tank a whole bunch of faceless, because they'll reduce my HP even if they don't do any damage. So that's, like, super scary when you realize this. Of course, later on in this chapter you get Elise and you get Arthur, I believe. No, Elise and Silas you get. So with Silas you can block off, or you can choke another point if you like. And I'm just gonna mute my phone because I realized I hadn't. There you go. I'm real professional, guys. And and what's really interesting with Elise, or the Troubadour class in general, but mostly Elise, is that her personal skill, Lily's Poise, makes the... If you stand beside another ally, like, doesn't really matter what gender he or she is, they will take 3 less damage and deal 1 less deal 1 extra damage. And this skill is so freaking important. It is so super useful throughout the whole game, especially the first half of the game. It really literally changes like a life or death situation to a unit just surviving because of this skill. So she's really useful here, and she's at least like super useful throughout the whole game, really. But if it like if you use like Elise's personal skill, like just right, this chapter becomes a lot easier for you, because if you do that, the faceless will barely deal any damage to you. But yeah, getting back to the chapter now. So Elise and Silas join you, so you get 1 extra unit to tank another point if you want. So that's important. And then there will come more faceless, but this the item, I actually don't remember if this is only on Lunatic or not. But the faceless that come, like the next wave of faceless, not only do they have Poison Strike, which is the skill that reduces your HP with 100%, but they also have Seal Speed. Whenever they initiate, whenever you initiate combat with them, like if they initiate or you initiate, you lose 6 speed for 1 turn. And that is so scary, because once you, it doesn't matter if you attack him from near or far, he will still affect you, so. It's like, as soon as you initiate combat with this guy, you have to kill him, otherwise he's gonna double any of your units and probably kill them. Because they not only, like, they have both Seal Speed and Poison Strike. Or a Grisly Wound, I think one of those. And they're like super scary combination, and this chapter is a real brain teaser. I freaking love it. It's such a good first chapter. So you can already see, like, this chapter is getting complicated really fast. And then, I believe the turn after, or 2 turns after or something, Arthur and Effie join you. And Effie is gonna be really important for you, because she will be able to tank 1 point for you. And you should pair her up with somebody. And wherever you want to tank, that's really up to you, but well, you get my point. Now, I don't believe Effie has any like really important skills for this chapter, but her personal skill is that, well, excuse me. If her strength is 3, like if her strength is 3 points higher than the enemy unit, I think it was 3 or 5, one of those, she will do 3 extra damage, and that helps a lot in general. She does a lot of damage because of that, because her strength throws is really pretty high. So by now, you have actually 6 units to use now. And you need to be really, like, you have to really think about where to put them, because what's really funny with Conquest in general is that one false move and your unit will die. Like, you have to be really wary of your surroundings and skills and everything, otherwise you will have to restart if you care about your units. And in Conquest you will care about your units, because I found myself not restarting sometimes when I played Birthright and especially Revelations. But yeah. So now, and after that, you see that there's more faceless that will come at you, but there's something different with the other ones, because they're paired up with each other. So now they have more defense, they're stronger, and dual strikes will not work. And I forgot to explain dual strikes, and I think I'll take this moment to explain the reworked pair up, which is a lot better. So now, if you place 2 units beside each other and attack with one of them, your first unit will attack, and the other one will do an extra attack, but at half the damage. So this is like a really welcome change for me, because I felt like the problem I had with the pair up in Awakening is that most of the things in the everything about the pair up in Awakening was so RNG dependent, because you could pair up and you would gain like insane amount of stats, especially if the higher your stats were, the more bonuses you got. And especially if you had support between the 2 units, you got even more stats. So yeah, that's pretty broken. But yeah, the units would the unit who is supported to the other one would still like dual strike and guard and stuff like that. But everything was like, there's a percentage chance that you would do it. So I believe that the highest chance you could get was like 80% or 70% in attack and 50 or 40 in defense if you paired up Robin and Chrom. But even it's still like really RNG dependent, and it's not fun to work with, because sometimes it was really important for you to get for that character to guard, or sometimes you really needed that character to actually dual strike for you, but it didn't happen, right? So in Awakening, all of the RNG is removed. So if you when you dual strike, you know how much damage the other unit is gonna do, but you also know the hit rate and the crit rate and all that, and you know it's gonna happen. For 100%, you know it's gonna dual strike. Alright, so let me get back to the 2 Faceless who's paired up, because I want to explain the defensive stance, which is the other, let me explain that real quick, too, because when you're paired up, the unit who is supporting the lead unit cannot dual strike anymore. But to make up for that, they actually made a shield gauge below the lead unit's HP. And once that fills up, it turns blue. And then, no matter what attack, the support unit will block that one attack. Like, it can be a skill activation or crit or anything, that unit will block that attack, no matter what it is. And I believe that after 5 attacks, you will have a full shield gauge. So if you miss that attack, I believe you still get one, because each attack fills up 2 shields. So I believe you get 2 shields even if you miss. But so yeah, you can use this to actually calculate when you're gonna defend, and what is like so much better than the Awakening pair up. But yeah, let me get back to the actual chapter now. So you have paired up Faceless against you now. And I'm not sure if the game wants you to do this, but what I did was I paired up Effie and Silas, and I just sent Effie at them, like to choke the North Point, and they did 0 damage to her. But because of the Grizzly Wound or Poison Strike, depending, they still chipped her down. But I had Jacob behind her to reduce the damage even less. So that's pretty fun though. But yeah, that's not what I'm trying to say. So yeah, now you have to deal with the paired up Faceless too, and this chapter is just such a freaking blast. So I'm not sure if you can tell, but I had so much fun with this. Yes, I restarted a lot of times in the beginning, but once you finish that chapter, and actually once you finish any chapter in Conquest, it feels super satisfying. You feel real good about yourself. But yeah, I think in general, Conquest has a lot of good maps that are very well designed, and enemies are very well placed, so that if you move into one enemy range, you have most likely moved into another enemy unit units range, and you have to be like really careful and like have to judge yourself when you want to use dual strikes and when you want to use defensive stance and all that, and it's like it's a lot of fun. It really is. But I think I'll just use Chapter 7 to explain, well, majority of the gameplay, and yeah. I think that's it for maps and for the gameplay. But I think I want to talk about now is the weapons, because I think up until now, all weapons and heal staves and stuff has had like a durability. So when your weapon breaks, you you don't have any weapons anymore, and you have to like buy new ones. But in Fates, weapons don't have any durability anymore. So that's a lot of fun, huh? I did not know what to think about it, because as soon as I started playing this game, and as soon as I got into like I played Conquest first, so I chose Conquest and I finished Chapter 7 and like, oh yeah, nice, okay, good. And then like, what am I supposed to spend money on if not weapons? So I was like super confused, because I did not know what am I supposed to do with my money now. My weapons won't break. So I was like, oh well, I guess I'm gonna buy staves then, because they break. So I spent like majority of my money on heal staves, because I love to heal a lot. Even if one unit that has only lost 1 HP, I will heal them for the experience. So I just bought a lot of staves. And you didn't really need to buy weapons. Like, not for a long while anyway. So yeah, I have very mixed feelings about this, because like actually like micromanaging your weapons and all that was like a big part of farmland for me, but they just removed that in Fates. Like, so okay, let me explain this though. So steel weapons, actually let me start with iron weapons in general. They are like very standard. They don't have any stats on them, but they have like decent hit rate, decent might and stuff like that. No weight or anything like that. And then steel weapons, they're stronger, but they will reduce your speed by 3 whenever you equip one, so you have to be careful. Silver weapons, they have like great might and great hit and stuff like that, and whenever you have used a silver weapon, it will reduce your strength and skill by 2 every time you use a silver weapon. So you can potentially debuff yourself all the way to 0. So I think this was to balance out, but I found myself only using a silver weapon once and then like switching it out again. Now a thing you should know is that if you want to dual strike and what is it called now? The unit who is going to dual strike, if he or she has a silver weapon equipped, they will not get the debuff afterwards if you dual strike with them. So that's a thing to keep in mind. It works with brave weapons as well, because brave weapons are back in this game and they don't have durability either. But they have some debuffs, and it really depends on which weapon type, because I believe lances the debuffs your defense and resistance by 4 when you equip them, but you can still just use them anyway. I don't remember the exact specific stat debuffs for every weapon, but they have something to balance it out, because you will become squishy when you use a brave weapon, at least a brave lance. Now the funniest part about this is the killer weapons in this game. I believe they give you avoid minus 10 or 20 or something when you equip them, but I feel as that's not enough of like a trade-off, because in Fates, when you crit with a killer weapon, you do 4 times the damage instead of 3. Like, just think about that for a moment. You have a weapon that can't break, and that deals 4 times the damage when you crit, And the only trade-off is that you lose a bit of a void. Like, equip your general with a killer lance and just watch him wreck shit. I don't know if I like this change at all. I mean, I don't like the weapon durability removal in general, but damn. I just feel like I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about this, but I think you get the gist of what I'm saying here. I think I mentioned that every character has a personal skill, and it depends on like every personal skill is unique, so you won't find that skills that are. You will find skills that are similar, but majority of the time they're still different. Like you can take like for example Leo and Xander. They have two different personal skills. I think that Xander does more damage and takes, like, I think he does 2 extra damage and takes 2 less damage or something like that when he is up against the enemy unit that has full HP, but Leo has the exact opposite. So he will deal more damage when the enemy unit isn't at full HP. So, like, they're different but still kind of similar. Or for example, Elise and Camilla. I already talked about Elise's skill, Lily's Poise, which reduces damage taken by 3 and makes you deal 1 extra damage. But Camilla's skill makes you deal 3 extra damage, but it makes you take 1 less damage. And for for fun, you can actually put like Elise and Camilla beside the unit you want to engage in combat, and you get some nice stat stacking like that. It's pretty fun. But yeah. Gameplay wise, I don't think I have a lot more to say. I know there's like dragon veins, but they are not exclusive to Conquest. But what I do know is in Lunatic, the dragon veins will actually change places compared to normal and hard modes. And most of the time they will. You can, like in Chapter 8, in the Ice Rock Village, you can use the Dragon Vein to freeze the lake for 1 turn. So you stop the enemies from advancing at all. And if your unit is in the lake at the same time, they can't move, so yeah. But that's one use for the Dragon Veins. And another use I can probably talk about is in the same chapter as I talked about, chapter 21, when Yago sends a shit ton of facelets at you. There's dragon veins scattered across the whole map that will freeze the enemies in place for 1 turn, so they can't move. They can't move on their enemy face. So the goal is to probably use 1 vein each turn, which is pretty easy with Camilla. So yeah. I'm not sure if I have much yet to say. I talked about what I wanted to talk about. Alright guys, so before I forget, I need to talk about the new weapon triangle, because I almost forgot about it, even though it's so important. But as you can see here, we have a new weapon type in this game, which I forgot to talk about, and it's hidden weapons, such as knives and shurikens. And because of this, they had to rework the weapon triangle, so the bows are not, they're not neutral any longer, so they're actually together with axes now. And tomes are together with swords, so I believe this picture is very self-explanatory, so I don't just know, oh my god. I don't need to say a lot about it, but yeah. And the weapon triangle brings me to the next thing I almost forgot to talk about, and that was the hidden weapons themselves, because they are really special in a sense, because I think that, well, you are introduced to hidden weapons in the prologue when you get Kaza. And what's special about hidden weapons is that the might on them is not very strong, but they debuff stats when you hit enemies with them. So I believe the Arwen Shuriken will I think they will debuff the strength, defense, and resistance by 3. Don't quote me on that, but I'll correct myself, probably. So this leads to some interesting tactics, because you can debuff an enemy and then have another unit come in to finish the blow. Like, that's one one way to do it. Or you can, like, the debuffs depends on which shuriken type you have, so I think, like, if you have a magical shuriken, like the flame shuriken, it will debuff their magic, for example. And the stronger the shuriken, the bigger debuffs they will give them, like the enemies, I think. So that's pretty nice. I like hidden weapons a lot, and what makes them even better is that they can attack at 1 and 2 range. You can, like, throw the shurikens or knives. So pretty solid addition. That, like, hidden weapons make, like, the ninjas so great in this game. Like, they might not be very tanky, but oh my god, they deal so much damage because of the debuffs. But yeah, that's my little share on hidden weapons. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to talk about in terms of gameplay. I wanted to talk about skills, I want to talk about pair up. Pair up is the most important thing in Fates by far. It's the core, I think. The core aspect of Fate is the pair up, the dual strikes, the defensive stance, which made Fate so much more enjoyable. I mean, even though I spoiler alert, but majority of the enemies in Birthright and Revelation don't have skills. So what keeps the game still fun for me was the new pair up system, really. But yeah. All right. But yeah, I think covered exactly what I wanted to cover. So next time I want to go over music. And I want to go over the artwork, because we all know that that shit is lit. And after that, I don't think I have much else to talk about. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, then that's good. Alright, I have no idea how to end videos. This has been Baselord, and I'll see you in the next one. Yeah.